For most men, the morning feels like something to get through. You open your eyes, sit on the edge of the bed, maybe pour a cup of coffee, and tell yourself, as long as I can push through the day, that's good enough. But here's the truth no one talks about. The day isn't decided at noon, or in the afternoon slump, or even at bedtime. The day is decided in the first 60 minutes after you wake up. That single hour acts like a lever. It can lift you into strength, clarity, and steady energy, or it can quietly drag you into fatigue, brain fog, and frustration. Think about the mornings when you've rushed, skipped food, sat too long, or drowned your body in caffeine. By mid-morning, your energy is already gone. Your mind is scattered. You feel older than your years. And the whole day feels like something you're surviving, not living. Now, compare that to the mornings when you started with water, with a few deep breaths of fresh air, with real fuel in your body. Those days feel different, don't they? Your joints are looser, your thoughts sharper, your patience stronger. You feel more like yourself. That's not coincidence, it's biology. Here's the myth we have to break, that after 60, mornings don't matter. That as long as you make it to bedtime, you've done your job. The truth is, mornings matter more than ever. They're not just routine, they're instructions. The way you spend your first hour tells your brain, your heart, and even your hormones how to behave for the next 16. So before you blame your fatigue on age, or your memory lapses on just getting older, ask yourself this. Are you actually giving your mornings the chance to work for you, or have you been letting them slip away? My name is Dr. Katherine Rocker, and for over 30 years I've had the privilege of working with men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s. I've sat across the table from men who believed their best days were gone, men who thought fatigue, slow mornings, and fading memory were just the cost of getting older. But I've also seen something remarkable. Those same men, within weeks, transform the way they felt. I've watched tired eyes become clear, heavy steps grow lighter, and energy return in ways they never expected. And here's the surprising part. Those changes didn't come from expensive prescriptions or complicated medical treatments. They came from something much simpler, reshaping the first hour of their day. Over the years, I've come to believe that the morning routine is one of the most powerful tools we have for health after 60. Not because it's trendy, not because it looks good on paper, but because it's the natural rhythm your body is already wired to follow. When you align with it, everything works better, your energy, your focus, even your hormones. When you ignore it, everything feels harder. And I don't say this as someone lecturing from a distance. I say it as someone who's walked with thousands of men through this exact struggle. I know what it feels like to drag yourself out of bed, to wonder if the spark you once had is gone. And I also know the look in a man's eyes when that spark comes back, when he realizes his mornings can still be a source of strength, not weakness. That's why I'm here. Not to overwhelm you with science, but to share the truth I've seen again and again. Mornings are medicine. And if you're willing to shift just a few habits in that first hour, you might discover a level of vitality you thought had passed you by. So as we continue, I invite you to see me not just as a doctor, but as a companion. Someone who's walked this path with men like you, and who knows there is a better way forward. I want to tell you about Robert, a 72-year-old retired accountant from Michigan. When he first walked into my office, he didn't look sick. He wasn't frail or broken down. But there was a heaviness about him, a quiet fatigue that you could see in his eyes and hear in his voice. He described his mornings in a way I've heard hundreds of times. He'd wake up around 7:30, sit on the edge of the bed for a few minutes, and then slowly make his way to the kitchen. The first thing he reached for wasn't water, wasn't breakfast, it was a large cup of black coffee. He'd sit with the paper or scroll through his phone, sipping caffeine on an empty stomach. Sometimes he skipped food until late morning. Other times, he grabbed a sweet pastry or a piece of leftover toast. Movement? None. Hydration? None. Sunlight? Almost never. His curtains stayed closed until midday. He told me, "Doc, I'm retired. What's the rush? I'll get moving when I feel like it." But here's what happened. By 10 a.m., his energy had already crashed. His hands felt shaky, his mind cloudy. He'd sit at his desk to do a crossword puzzle and find himself unable to focus. Some days, he'd nap before lunch, then stay up late at night staring at the ceiling. His whole rhythm was off, and he didn't even know it. "Maybe this is just what getting old feels like," Robert said quietly, staring at the floor. "I used to be sharp. I used to wake up ready. Now it feels like the day controls me, instead of me controlling the day." And that right there is the heart of the struggle so many men face. They think their body is failing, when in reality, it's their morning routine, or lack of one, that's failing them. Robert wasn't broken. He was simply missing the cues his body had depended on for decades: hydration, light, movement, and fuel. Without them, his brain never got the message that it was time to wake up and perform. What I saw in Robert is the same thing I see in countless men. The morning becomes a burden instead of a launchpad. And over time, that pattern steals more than energy. It steals confidence, clarity, and even independence. When Robert finished telling me about his mornings, I leaned forward and said, "Robert, do you know what your body is actually designed to do in that first hour after waking?" He shook his head. And truthfully, most men don't. Here's what happens inside your body when the day begins. The moment your eyes open, a powerful internal system kicks in, your circadian rhythm, often called the body's master clock. This clock lives deep inside the brain, and it quietly coordinates almost everything about you: your blood pressure, your heartbeat, your hormone balance, even your memory. In that first hour, your body releases something called the cortisol awakening response. Now, a lot of men hear the word cortisol and think stress. But in the morning, cortisol isn't the enemy, it's your natural spark plug. It gives you the jolt of energy you need to rise, clears the fog from your brain, and signals your metabolism to start burning fuel for the day ahead. But here's the catch: this system depends on the right inputs. It's like a switchboard. If you hydrate, move, and get light exposure, the switchboard lights up and the whole system runs on time. Skip those things, drown your body in caffeine, keep the curtains closed, stay seated, and the system stutters. That spark plug misfires. Instead of feeling awake, you feel wired for an hour and then drained for the rest of the day. Light is one of the most powerful signals of all. The very first natural light that enters your eyes resets your circadian rhythm. It tells your brain, yes, it's morning, and it starts a countdown clock for melatonin, the hormone that helps you sleep at night. That's why better mornings don't just create better days, they actually create better nights, too. When you miss that light, your body drifts out of sync. Sleep becomes fragmented, energy feels unstable, and your whole rhythm slips off beat. Movement plays another role. After hours of stillness, your blood vessels are tight and your circulation sluggish. Even 5 to 10 minutes of stretching or a light walk releases nitric oxide, a natural chemical that relaxes your arteries, lowers morning blood pressure, and pushes fresh blood to your brain. That's why men who move in the morning feel sharper, steadier, and more alive. And then there's fuel. After 7 or 8 hours of sleep, your body is in a mini-fasting state. Your brain is starving for protein, vitamins, and minerals. Give it real food, like eggs, oats with nuts, or Greek yogurt, and your memory and focus sharpen. Give it nothing, or worse, just sugar and coffee, and your blood sugar spikes, crashes, and leaves you foggy before the day has even begun. Now here's why all this matters more after 60. When you were 25, you could skip breakfast, slam a cup of coffee, and still push through the day. Your body had reserves. But after 60, those reserves aren't as forgiving. The systems that regulate sleep, energy, and hormones rely even more on clear signals. Neglect those signals, and the decline feels steep. Support them, and the turnaround can be just as powerful. That's why I told Robert, and why I'm telling you now, your mornings aren't just routine. They're medicine. They're the master switch for how your entire body performs from sunrise to sunset. When you flip that switch the right way, you're not just surviving another day, you're rebuilding your vitality, one morning at a time. When I explained to Robert how much his mornings mattered, he looked at me and asked the same question most men ask. So what should I do? What's the right way to start? I told him it doesn't need to be complicated. You don't need a 2-hour routine, expensive supplements, or fancy equipment. What you need are 3 simple anchors, 3 signals to tell your brain and body, it's morning, it's time to perform. Let me walk you through them. Anchor number 1. Hydration. Refill the tank. The first thing your body needs when you wake up isn't coffee, it's water. During sleep, you lose close to a pound of water through breathing and sweat. That means you're starting the day slightly dehydrated, and dehydration is one of the fastest ways to feel sluggish, stiff, and foggy. So, within 15 minutes of waking, drink 12 to 16 ounces of water. Plain water is perfect. If you want to take it further, add a squeeze of lemon or a pinch of mineral salt to replace electrolytes and support circulation. One of my patients, Gerald, 68, started this habit. Within a week he told me, "Doc, I don't wake up with that heavy head anymore. I feel like I'm clearing the fog before it even starts." Anchor number 2. Movement. Switch on the circulation. After hours of stillness, your muscles and blood vessels need a wake-up call. That doesn't mean running a marathon. 5 to 10 minutes is enough. Stretch your arms overhead. Roll your shoulders. Walk around the block. Do a few bodyweight squats or push-ups if you can. The goal isn't to exhaust yourself, it's to get blood moving and joints loosened. That blood flow carries oxygen to your brain, which sharpens focus, and it stimulates nitric oxide, which relaxes arteries and protects your heart. One of my patients, Leonard, 70, began each morning with 5 minutes of stretching in the sunlight. He later told me, "It's like my body stops creaking and starts cooperating. I don't dread mornings anymore." Anchor number 3. Fuel. Give your brain real energy. Breakfast has been argued about for years, but here's what I've seen with men over 60, the right breakfast changes everything. After a night of fasting, your body needs protein and steady fuel, not sugar spikes. Coffee and donuts may feel good for 10 minutes, but they lead to a crash that steals your energy by mid-morning. Instead, think protein and plants. Eggs with spinach. Greek yogurt with berries. Oatmeal with chia seeds and nuts. These choices stabilize your blood sugar, support your hormones, and feed your brain what it needs to stay sharp. When Robert replaced his pastry with 2 eggs and a small bowl of oats, he came back to me 3 weeks later and said, "I can't believe how steady I feel through the morning, I don't crash anymore." When you combine these 3 anchors, hydration, movement, and fuel, you're sending a powerful message to your body. You're saying, wake up, perform, stay steady. It doesn't take more than 20 minutes. But it sets the rhythm for the next 16 hours of your day. And here's the part one love most. Once men feel the difference, they don't want to go back. It stops feeling like a chore and starts feeling like freedom. Because the truth is, your body doesn't need perfection, it needs consistency. And these 3 anchors are simple enough to keep for life. I want you to picture 2 men. Both are 70 years old. Both are retired. Both live ordinary lives. But the way they spend their mornings sets them on completely different paths. Man A. The drifting morning. This man wakes up groggy. He shuffles straight to the kitchen and pours himself a large cup of coffee. No water, no movement, no food. He sits in his chair with the TV on, scrolling his phone or watching the news. By mid-morning, he feels jittery from caffeine but strangely tired at the same time. His energy crashes before lunch. He naps in the afternoon, then stays up late at night, unable to sleep. He tells himself this is just aging. But in reality, it's the cost of neglecting his mornings. His body clock is confused. His hormones are off balance. His blood sugar rises and falls like a roller coaster. And little by little, his confidence erodes. He starts avoiding activities he once enjoyed because he doesn't have the stamina. Man B. The anchored morning. Now picture another man, same age, same circumstances. But this man wakes and drinks a glass of water right away. He steps outside into the sunlight, stretches for 5 minutes, and breathes in the morning air. He makes himself a simple breakfast, 2 eggs and a bowl of oatmeal with berries. By mid-morning, he feels sharp, steady, and grounded. His circulation is flowing, his mind is clear, and his energy is stable. He doesn't need a nap to make it through the day. At night, he falls asleep more easily because his circadian rhythm is in sync. And when he wakes up the next day, he's ready to do it all again. 2 men. 2 paths. Same age. Same starting point. But completely different outcomes. The first man drifts through his mornings and pays for it with fatigue, fog, and frustration. The second man anchors his mornings and gains focus, stamina, and confidence. And the only difference? One man treats his mornings as disposable. The other treats his mornings as medicine. So ask yourself, when tomorrow comes, which man do you want to be? Before I tell you how to build mornings that heal, we need to shine a light on the traps, the mistakes so many men fall into without realizing how destructive they are. Mistake number 1. Coffee on an empty stomach. This is the classic one. Men wake up, feel sluggish, and immediately reach for coffee. But here's the problem. Caffeine spikes cortisol, the stress hormone that's already naturally high in the morning. Add coffee without food, and you're overloading your system. Instead of smooth energy, you get a surge followed by a crash. One of my patients, Frank, 69, told me he felt wired and tired every morning. All it took was eating eggs before his coffee to change everything. His hands stopped shaking, and his mornings became steady again. Mistake number 2. Skipping breakfast altogether. Many men believe skipping breakfast will help them lose weight or give their digestion a rest, but after 60, your brain and muscles don't have the same energy reserves they once did. Go without food, and your blood sugar dips, your thinking slows, and your body cannibalizes muscle for fuel. Over time, that means weaker muscles, slower reflexes, and lower testosterone. Mistake number 3. A sugary start. For others, breakfast means pastries, donuts, or sweet cereal. Sugar floods the bloodstream, gives a quick burst of energy, then drops you hard within an hour or 2. That's why men who eat this way often feel sleepy by 10 a.m. and crave more sugar to keep going. It's a cycle that accelerates weight gain, diabetes, and mental fog. Mistake number 4. Sitting still too long. Some men wake up, sit in their chair with the newspaper or TV, and stay there for hours. The problem? After a night of stillness, your blood is thicker, your vessels tighter, and your circulation sluggish. Sitting longer only makes it worse. Movement is what signals your body, the day has begun. Skip it, and you carry stiffness and low energy all day long. Mistake number 5. Staring at a phone first thing. This one sneaks up on men. The first light their brain sees isn't the sunrise, it's the cold blue light of a phone screen. And what do they see? News, emails, stress. This jolts the nervous system into fight or flight mode before the body has even woken up naturally. The result is anxiety, shallow breathing, and a restless mind that struggles to focus all day. These mistakes might feel small, even harmless, but together they create a pattern that drains energy and confidence. And here's the truth. Most men don't even notice the damage until years later, when fatigue, weight gain, or memory loss become constant companions. But the good news is this: if mistakes can compound against you, the right choices can compound for you. And when you change your mornings, the results show up faster than you'd imagine. One of the first questions men ask me is, "Doctor, if I actually start doing this, if I drink water, move, eat right, how long before I feel anything?" The truth is, your body responds faster than you think. Let me walk you through what usually happens. After 7 days, the spark returns by the end of the first week. Most men notice a subtle but real difference. That heavy fog in the morning begins to lift. Instead of dragging for hours, you feel yourself waking up quicker. Hydrating right away clears the dryness from your mouth and the stiffness from your body. A short stretch loosens your joints. A protein breakfast steadies your energy. You might still have moments of fatigue, but you'll also catch yourself thinking, "I don't feel as old this morning." That's not wishful thinking, it's your biology responding. After 14 days, the rhythm restores. 2 weeks in, the changes run deeper. Your sleep at night begins to improve, because your circadian rhythm is finally syncing to daylight again. You fall asleep more easily, and you wake up with less tossing and turning behind you. Your digestion feels smoother, your mood steadier. Some men even tell me their families notice. They're less irritable, more focused, more present. One of my patients, Carl, 74, said after 2 weeks of anchoring his mornings, "My wife told me I seem like myself again." That's what happens when your hormones and blood sugar stop swinging wildly. After 30 days, the transformation. By the 1-month mark, the shift is undeniable. Your morning routine is no longer an effort, it's a rhythm. You wake up knowing what to do, and your body thanks you for it. Energy carries you through the morning without crashing. Memory sharpens. Confidence returns. Even your evenings feel different. You're able to relax, fall asleep naturally, and wake refreshed. One man told me after 30 days, "Doc, I can't believe this is me. I thought I was on the downhill slide, but I feel 10 years younger." And he wasn't exaggerating. His blood pressure dropped, his mood lifted, and he found the courage to take walks he hadn't done in years. That's the power of consistency. 7 days brings you hope. 14 days restores your rhythm. 30 days rewrites your story. And it all begins in the first hour of your morning. For decades, men have been told the same tired story. That fatigue, brain fog, and sluggish mornings are just the price of aging. That once you pass 60, you should expect to feel drained when you wake up, stiff in your joints, and slow in your thoughts. But let me tell you, that belief is one of the most dangerous lies men have ever been sold. Because it convinces you to stop trying. It convinces you to accept decline that doesn't have to happen. Your body is not broken. It hasn't lost the ability to wake up strong and clear. What it has lost, through years of habit, stress, and neglect, are the right signals. Think of it like an old radio. The radio isn't broken, it just isn't tuned to the right station. Static fills the air until you adjust the dial. And once you do, the music comes through again. Your body works the same way. The signal that tunes your body is routine, the morning cues that tell your brain, your heart, and your hormones, it's time to rise. Without those cues, you feel static, confusion, fatigue, frustration. But once you start giving your body the signals it's been waiting for, water, light, movement, real fuel, the music of your biology plays again. Cortisol spikes in the healthy way, blood sugar stabilizes, melatonin resets for better sleep at night. These are not miracles. They are the natural design of your body still working for you, even after 60. So the next time you hear yourself saying, "I guess I'm just old," stop. Replace it with the truth, "I am still capable. My body is waiting for the right signals." Because you are not too late. You are not too old. And you are certainly not powerless. Your mornings are the proof. Each day you open your eyes, you have another chance to tune the dial and bring yourself back into rhythm. I want you to hear this clearly, you are not the only man fighting through foggy mornings. Across the country, there are thousands of men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s, quietly struggling with the same pattern, waking up heavy, dragging through the day, and believing it's just the way life is now. But something powerful happens when men stop suffering in silence and start sharing their stories. I've seen it in my own practice. One man will say, "I started drinking water first thing, and by day 3 I felt lighter." Another will share, "I never thought a short stretch could make such a difference, but my knees aren't as stiff anymore." These simple testimonies become sparks of hope for the next man. That's why I want to hear from you. What's the first thing you do when you wake up? Do you reach for water, coffee, your phone, or nothing at all? Write it in the comments. Don't underestimate the power of your words. Your experience could be the nudge another man needs to finally change his mornings. Because this isn't just about you. It's about all of us, men choosing not to fade, men choosing to rise. When you improve your mornings, it doesn't only change your life. It changes how your family sees you, how your friends experience you, how your community feels your presence. So join the conversation. Share your wins, your struggles, your questions. I read every single comment because every story matters. Together, we can create a circle of men who prove that life after 60 isn't about decline, it's about reclaiming strength, one morning at a time. Let me leave you with this thought. Your mornings are not small, they are not disposable, and they are not meaningless. They are the engine of your day, the foundation of your health, and the signal that tells your body whether to rise strong or to fade quietly. So many men have been led to believe that energy fades, memory dulls, and mornings become a burden after 60. But what I want you to see is that none of that is inevitable. You can still write a different story. And the pen is in your hands every single morning. Imagine yourself 30 days from now. You wake up, pour a glass of water, move your body, and fuel it with real food. By mid-morning, you feel alert instead of drained. Your thoughts are clear, your mood steady, your body lighter. You carry yourself with confidence. That is not a dream, it's the natural reward of giving your body the signals it's been waiting for. You are not broken. You are rebuildable. You are not too late. Your body, even after 60, is still capable of healing, of sharpening, of restoring strength. All it asks of you is one small act of respect. Begin your day with purpose. So here's my challenge to you: tomorrow morning, choose differently. Don't let habit decide your day. Take the first hour and claim it as your own. Hydrate. Move. Fuel. And then pay attention to how you feel. That feeling will tell you more than my words ever could. And if this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a brother, a father, or a friend who deserves to feel alive again. Click like so more men can discover this truth. Subscribe so we can keep walking this journey together. And most of all, leave a comment below. Tell me the one change you're going to make tomorrow morning. Because your story may inspire the next man to take his first step. This isn't the end. This is the beginning of mornings that matter, mornings that carry you into strength, clarity, and confidence no matter your age. So here's my promise: if you give your mornings back to yourself, they will give you back your life.